Hey there, tech enthusiast. Welcome back to Prime Coding. I'm Aditya Mishra, and today we'll solve the online assessment coding problems of Accenture 2024. Yes, for 2025 batch, as you know, the on-campus hiring is going on, and the candidates continuously sharing us their question because we requested you to share coding questions or interview experience that you recently gone through, and it will help your peers and juniors to prepare for Accenture upcoming rounds or upcoming online assessment. So you can reach out to us on Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram, email, or any mode of thing that you want to. All the links provided in the description. You can just head over to it. Now, without wasting time, let's solve the very first question, which will help you to crack the ASC role. It's totally depend upon your college cutoffs. Okay. So John is trying to determine whether a number is prime or a math project for a math project. Okay, so a prime number is defined as a number greater than 1 and has no divisor other than 1, which is basically a definition of prime number. And he needs to write a program that checks if a given is a prime number. Okay, so we got the intuition till now what we need to do in the code, but still let's have a full read. So if the number is prime, the problem should output 1 and should output 0. Okay, so let me check the input. Okay, so input, we have an integer n in which we need to check whether this integer is prime or not, and we need to print 1 if it is a prime number, or we need to print 0 if it is not a prime number. So basically we know that what all prime numbers are, and the question also said the definition as well. So writing code would be very easy, but you should know how to write code. And as per my experience, prime number questions were repeated many times, guys, many times. So if you don't know, please know the prime number concept. I taught this similar in Accenture, Infosys, TCS, as well as few of the Accenture online assessment shifts. These questions were repeated n number of times, and I explained n number of times. So it's totally depend upon the constraints, guys. If you can see the constraint in your exam which states that the n value should be less than or equal to 10 to the power 5 or 5 or 6, then you should write, or you should approach the problem such as a sieve anthosis problem, because you know that if you know about this concept, this particular thing takes log of n time complexity. If you want to learn this, please follow this mock test of coding interview. I did this questions n number of times, and you can see in the online assessment as well, they are asking these particular topics of prime numbers and stuff. So you can see the prime number question were asked, and I explained the sieve anthosis and the simple approach as well. Okay, so for this problem the constraint is very low, so you don't need to worry about whatever program you know to write or to find a prime number. It is efficient, because till now I saw to find the sum of prime number in the given range, then whether the given number is prime or not. So this was the question that was asked right now in 2nd September, and many more prime stuffs, whether find the sum of the number who are present on the prime number index. So many questions were asked related to prime number, let it be in the based of indexes, sums, and the number is prime or not. N types of questions were formed on the prime number concept. So it is a most important concept that I would tell you till now. Okay, so we'll approach this problem in a very easy manner. We'll create some function like check prime, which will check the prime number. Okay, we'll pass it an n. Okay, I'm writing the pseudocode. So yes, we know that if anytime I found my n is less than equivalent to 1, it is not a prime number though, so we just need to return false. And another case would be we'll just iterate or initialize our for loop, which will go from smallest prime number, which is 2, to the root of a given n. Okay, to the root of given n. So and all the range we can cover it. And if any time I found that my given number is divided by 0 and its remainder is 0, which means divided by I and the remainder is 0, which means it is divisible by any other integer, which is not a definition of prime. So you just need to return the false. Okay, or if both of the case won't work, then you know that the given number is prime number, so you just need to return true. So you can see, very easy problem. Is it very easy? I would say. Now the second stuff is the main function. So writing main function is pretty easy. You just need to take the input like in any programming language that you prefer to write, and you just need to pass, or just you need to print it, or see out, or print, or any system out that you want to use, you can use here. And just call this function, which is check prime, with a given input whatever you took, and just return it. Okay, and either you can return false, or you can return 1 or 0. Okay, it's totally depend upon you. So in this video we'll check the Python, C++, Java programming approaches, so you can find the codes in 3 of the languages. Okay, now let's check out the Python code. So check prime n. Okay, so if n is less than equivalent to 1, okay, so return false. Fantastic. So for I, similarly, I told we go to the root of the given n, as well as including the last element as well. That's why using +1, because it would be excluded. So that's why I'm mentioning +1 here. Now if n mod I is equivalent to 0, then you just need to return false, because the number is divisible by n, and the last is returned true. And in the last, as in the main function, you take the input. You just don't need to write this command. Okay, it's just for your understanding I wrote, but in the exam you just need to write int input. You don't need to print any comment there. Okay, so check prime, print 1, print 0, and you are okay. Okay, so this is the very easy approach. Now in C++ code, you can see the code which is n is less than equivalent to 1 and return false. Similarly, you are iterating for loop from 2 to sqrt. So this particular stuff will have a time complexity of root n, that I would say. The approach is pretty similar as we discussed in Python. Okay, so let's see the Java code. It's look very easy. Okay, similar approach that we discussed in C++ and Python. Same thing that we are performing here is creating for loop, iterating till the root of n, and just returning whether it is true or false. And after fetching out the value, if it is true, it will return 1, or it will print 0 and 1. Okay, so I hope this prime number question is pretty clear to you. Now Shandip, Shubham, Adesh, Varun, the people who recently cracked TCS, Accenture, and many more service-based company, and how after taking the one-to-one mock session from us, from primecoding.in. So I will provide you, or you will get, in just 100 rupees of investment, you will get detailed technical sessions, HR and managerial round, and resume review, personalized feedback on your mock session where you are facing issues, what is the sign that you don't know how to prepare for it, suggestion for improvement such as roadmap, resources to follow, and the expert guidance. Okay, so www.primecoding.in is the website that you need to go on. You will find the plans. You just need to go through any plan, or we'll meet you with the mock session, and I will make you to crack this particular opportunity. Now, problem statement 2, which will definitely place your ticket for AASC role. Okay, so a young boy finds it difficult to read words that are more than 10 letters long. Okay, to help him, you need to write a program that shortens such words. Okay, especially for any word longer than 10 letters. The program should convert it into format where only the first letter, the number of letter in between, and the last letter are kept. For example, the word is demonstration. Okay, becomes D11N. Okay, where D is the first letter, N is the last letter, and in between those you have 11 characters. Now your task is to implement a program that will take a sentence as input and produce a modified sentence according to the rules described. So I hope the question is pretty clear. There would be a sentence which is given to us like this, and what we need to do is, if the particular word is more than 11 words, so you need to place the very first character and the very last character, and in between that the total number of characters. Okay, so this is a particular program. So you can see the, which is a less than 10 length, or now demonstration, which the word length is greater than 10. So what you need to do is first letter, second letter, first letter and last letter, and all the character which is present among the first and last characters. Okay, similarly applies on government laws. It is less than 10, makes and difficult, and understand, which is greater than 10. The length of the understand is greater than 10. Then we need to put the first and last in between the total number of character. So now let's discuss the approach. So we had the demonstration of government. So what I will do is, let me write a word here so that the explanation would be very easy and intuitive. Okay, so now how many letters we have here? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 letter we have till now. So what I will do is, I will create a function which will fetch out the very first character, okay, and will fetch the very last character. Okay, so now we have U and D with us. Now in between I will just append the total number of character left. So what I will do, I will create an n which had a length of this word. Let's say this word is this. So word denoting this understand. Okay. So length of word we have. So what I will do here is n minus 2. Now 10 minus 2 is equivalent to 8, and see, you can see here U8D. So 8 would be appended here and we are done with our task. So it is very easy problem that I can see and we can figure it out. So we'll create a function which will do this task for me. At every time when I saw a word, I will push that word into my function so that I can check out whether that word is greater than 10. If it is greater than 10, then I will perform this particular operation. But if it is not greater than 10, then I will do the simple task. Okay. So now, as you can see, I created a function which is a shortened word, and I have a shortened word sentence as well. Okay. So I have this sentence. So in exam, you need to take it as input. Okay. You need to take this as input. Now I'm calling the shortened sentence first. Okay. Shortened sentence, what it is doing is word sentence dot split. Now what split will do, this sentence is there. Now according to the spaces, as you can see, there is no delimiter. So which means it will separate the sentence word by spaces. Okay. So everything would be created in the list, which is look like the, then comma, then demonstration, then comma, then off, then comma, like this. The list will be created and it is passed to the words. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm just combining it, the output. So this function is used, join function is used to combine or concatenate all number of outputs in a one string. Okay. So now shorten words for all words in words, which means all the words, which means all the demonstrate will traverse or on all the words which is denoted by word, and I will pass that word in my short word function. Now short word function has been called here. Now I will check whether that word is greater than 10. If the word length of word is greater than 10, then I am fetching out the very first character. I fetched out the very last character. Now whatever length we currently have, just subtract it by 2, because the last element is first and last element is excluded. Whatever we left with, we'll just append it here. Now return word, we are done with this. Now as we return word, this empty string will create our word line U8D that we discussed. Okay, very easy approach. And if I discuss the time complexity, which is this takes n time, O of n time, so it is not being calculated. So let me write O of n plus. Now what actually happening is, for every word I am passing this to function which is a constant time. Okay, which is a constant time, which is again that I would say which is O of n. Okay, and constant time is not considered. So basically the time complexity would be O of 2n. So constant would be removed. So O of n would be the time complexity, and the space complexity would be O of n. Now Aditya, how O of n? Because this is storing as a list. Words has a list of all words present in a sentence. Okay. Now the similar thing we'll discuss in C++ code. You can find all these code snippet in the GitHub. The link is given in the description. Okay. So you can use either bits.std, std, c++.h. It totally depends on you. Okay. You don't need to import all these things. Now similarly created a string function which will do the same task that we discussed. A back last word has been taken off and the first word has been considered. Now we'll subtract 2 words from the total length and we are done with our work. The similar thing, we are taking the get line which will take the input whichever has a spaces as well. So everything has been covered. Now string stream is used to stream a string, which will help us to iterate on each word. Okay, similar like split. Now word has been created here. Now SS. Now only the word we traverse here, and we'll put everything into our words array, which will increase the time complexity to O of n, space complexity to O of n. Now size t, you can either write size t or int I, it is not an issue. Now just call the function up, like print up the word and give a space. And that's it. This is the work that you need to do. So this is a printing statement. This is a finding statement after calling the shorten function. And if the word is greater than 10, we are doing a performance. If it is not, then simply putting up the word simply into our words array and just printing it in the last. So time complexity and space complexity we discussed in the Python. It remains same for C++ and Java as well. But have a look on the Java code as well. So Java code is bit very simpler or similar to the C++ code, where we are taking a scanner, initializing a scanner class, taking the input of the sentence, then using the split to split all the words in a single word, removing the spaces. Then string builder to build a string where shortened word has been called here, and according to the functions condition will process our operation, and whatever we have will put it into our result, and in the last will print the result into string. Okay, so this is a particular function that we wrote. So do refer these resources. TCS NQT playlist is also created. Accenture whole 2024 placement, all our previous year questions has been covered here. The mock test as well, and the TCS Capgemini Cognizant sheet is also uploaded on the Telegram group in the Drive link. You can find in the Telegram group on the pin comment. Okay, so just go to the sheet, solve it, and crack the below opportunities that you have till now. So thanks for watching this video. I highly appreciate if you are watching till here. Please like this, subscribe this channel, and share with your friends so that they can also do something in their career. And we'll meet you with a new video soon.